is going to increase from 1 to 3 Gs here. That's 3 times your weight pushing you down into that seat as you launch to space.
Quite a ride. We're nearing 2 minutes of boost, about 2 minutes into our mission. So our next big milestone here is main engine cutoff, where that BE3 engine will temporarily terminate.
2 minutes negative MDF.
Yeah.
10 seconds to MECO. 150,000 feet. MECO.
There it is, that MECO, or main engine cutoff. Our vehicle is now coasting at 2,000 miles per hour. Coming up here soon, we'll have the separation of the crew capsule from the booster. And what do we have there, Alice? On the bottom of our screen, we have our 0G indicator.
250,000 feet.
You can see it in the center of your screen. Separation is confirmed. The crew capsule is floating in 0G as the New Shepard booster starts its descent back to the landing pad. An absolutely huge congratulations to all 6 of our crew. They are officially astronauts. Wow, I cannot imagine what our 6 astronauts are experiencing. They're seeing the curvature of the Earth from space, maybe doing a backflip or 2. You know, I can't confirm that right now, but that maybe is what I would be doing. And as we mentioned, you can see the separation between the crew capsule and the booster very clearly here in the center of your screen. So you can see this booster altitude is dropping rapidly, right? And the velocity is picking up as that New Shepard booster heads back to the West Texas desert.
Yeah, I can imagine the astronauts are unbuckled from their seats right now, looking out those huge windows, enjoying a moment, taking some pictures together. The crew usually has something choreographed before the flight, so they know what they're doing up there, and I'm sure it's just a phenomenal moment they're all having together.
I feel like Mark and Sharon on board are, you know, the astronaut experts, right? They're professionals here now on their second flight.
They're the tour guides.
Yes, yes.
We can really see that booster coming back down now. We're at just around 260,000 feet for that booster.
Yeah, and Alice, that booster lands about 2 miles north of where it took off from on our landing pad. At about 5.5 minutes here into the mission, the booster screaming back down to Earth, and our astronauts enjoying 0G. So far today, we're seeing a perfectly nominal flight. And again, today is our NS-28 mission. It's our 9th human flight, but this booster you're seeing head back to Earth here has flown 12 times. You see that booster altitude is at about 80,000 feet. Those wedge fins, the steering fins, the ring fin, those unique design elements that we discussed earlier in the show are working together to guide the booster down to the landing pad. Soon here we'll hear that sonic boom. There go the brakes. Our speed will start pretty rapidly decreasing here. Standing by for that BE3 engine relight. Just a gorgeous view. There's the BE3 engine relight. The landing legs deployed, the West Texas dust in the air.
And touchdown. What an incredible sight to see. Let's let this dust clear and we'll see.
There it is. The New Shepard booster standing tall on the landing pad. Again, love the sight of that West Texas dust. It clears and it's like almost a magic trick. It's like, here's the booster.
Yeah, the booster return is truly one of our proudest moments at Blue because it really does show the incredible engineering and all the hard work that's gone into bringing a rocket safely home from space. And that rocket is ready to be reused.
Again, you know, like you said, Alice, the booster touchdown is, of course, one of the proudest moments. It's, you know, an amazing feat of engineering, but our show and our mission are not over. As we mentioned before, you know, the shape of that crew capsule causes it to descend significantly slower, of course, than the booster here. So our astronauts at this point are buckled into their seats. They're headed back down, and we'll check in with them shortly.
And there is our capsule under 3 main parachutes. Now, what a beautiful sight to see. Oh my gosh, I love this. Now, while those parachutes are essential in providing a gentle touchdown for that crew capsule, it's also outfitted with a retro thrust system. That's going to be at the base of the crew capsule. You'll see that fired here shortly, just moments before touchdown.
Yeah, and Alice, when that capsule is just about to land, it's only like 1 or 2 miles per hour. So, you know, the combination of the 3 main parachutes with that retro thrust system you just explained really bring it down for this nice, soft touchdown. And at this point, right, our astronauts, they had, you know, time and space. They flew on a rocket, and now they're coasting back to Earth, back to that West Texas desert, to their awaiting friends and family here shortly.
Yeah, they're probably just starting to take some deep breaths here.
Yes.
We can see the beautiful view here of the capsule descending with the mountains in the background. We're just a few hundred feet from touchdown. What a beautiful flight today. You'll see our velocity there, Jackie, is just around 16 miles an hour. That will, like you said, decrease to just 1 or 2 miles an hour. Let's take a look. Watch for that cloud of dust. There it is. Our crew capsule is safely on the ground. A big touchdown moment there. Incredible sight to see. And, you know, now that our capsule is on the ground and our parachutes are there, it's time for our recovery team to drive out as a convoy to the crew capsule. They're going to do a few things before we have the crew step out. They're going to safe the vehicle. We'll have crew member 7 walk around and get some big thumbs up and smiles from all the astronauts. And then shortly we'll see a hatch opening. So let's stay tuned.
Yeah, and Alice, I know you've actually driven these recovery vehicles out, racing out towards the desert to see the astronauts. What's that like? I hope to be a passenger in that car with you one day.
It's a thrill. Oh my gosh, it's incredible to get out there and be in such a remote place and have such a cool and futuristic piece of engineering sitting out there waiting for us to let the 6 astronauts out.
Love that contrast. And while we wait on our recovery crew to come out here, safe the vehicle, open the hatch, we have a very special guest joining us, one of our former New Shepard astronauts, someone who has experienced that very flight profile firsthand, Carson Kitchen, the youngest woman astronaut to cross the Kármán line. Let's patch in Carson.
Hi, it's such a pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you for having me. This is just so exciting. I'm not gonna lie, I was getting a little emotional watching this that much.
I can imagine, Carson. I'm so happy to see you. Now, you've been through this before, so you have a very, very unique perspective. Tell us, so our astronauts just flew on a rocket, they were in space, and they just landed back under those beautiful parachutes. What was going through your head? What do you think's going through their head in this moment?
Honestly, I bet that they're just overcome with emotion. It's quite an interesting feeling being back on Earth. You're just so grateful for the experience that you just had because it really immediately changes your life. I was also really grateful to be home in one piece, and to be honest with you. But I know that they're eager to reunite with your family and tell them all about the wonderful things that they just saw and that they felt. And to be honest, that they're a little bummed that the experience is over, wishing that they could spend a couple more minutes in space.
Wow, and I mean, I can't even imagine that feeling. What an incredible experience. And I know it's probably hard to say, so I might let you say more than one, but if you had to pick a top highlight from your flight, what would you say was your favorite moment? I know this is a tough one.
You are right, it's definitely tough to pinpoint. I would say a moment I remember quite vividly is right before making separation, when the sky starts to darken and time seems to start slowing down and everything gets a little quieter. That's when the whole experience became very real and very visceral for me, realizing that, okay, I'm actually going to space right now, that this is the process of happening, and that this incredible dream of mine was coming true. It's truly unforgettable. Obviously, looking back at our bright fluorescent beating heart of Earth is surreal as well.
Carson, your words are poetry. That's absolutely beautiful. Thank you for that description. Seriously. Now, tell us a little bit about the training experience, right? So how long are you in West Texas? How ready did you feel for your flight? Tell us a little bit about that.
So you spend about 5 days in the astronaut village, but you spend about 2 of those days training with the crew member 7 and the rest of the astronauts. The training, they're very long days, but they're incredibly rewarding. The biggest takeaway I got from training is that you succeed and that you fail as a team. Obviously, each person is responsible for playing their part, but we're also responsible for looking out with one another. And training is about preparing for mission success, but it's about working team.
Well, I hope to someday go through that astronaut training experience. Now, we often hear that crews on New Shepard become very tight-knit. Can you tell us I'm so sorry, coughing. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so since we do work on during training, we become very close, very closely. We all have this shared bond of wanting to go to space, so we can kind of skip past the small talk and dive deep into our own personal lives kind of quickly. And going to space is such a deeply personal and unique experience, but sharing it with your crew creates this almost indescribable bond. The rarity of such a journey, and witnessing firsthand how vulnerable it is for each of us, transforms each of us, kind of forges this unbreakable connection, almost like family. So my crew and I, we still stay in touch. We share updates on all the exciting things that happen in our lives, and I'm sure that will play an important role in each other's lives for quite a long time.
Well, Carson, I have a very important question for you because I can't imagine what it's like. What was it like going to space, being the youngest woman ever to cross the Kármán line, and then you had to go back to school? Can you tell us what that was like?
Okay, so going back to school was definitely a transition, to say the least. I remember taking a test after going to space and being like, this is so stupid. Like, I cannot believe I'm going not taking a test. But it's been really exciting, actually, to be able to share this experience with members of my community. You know, going to space really changes your perspective on life and how lucky you are to be alive. And so while I do get sometimes annoyed or bored with the mundane school life, I'm still very grateful to be able to educate myself and to surround myself with an incredible community and to represent not only the greatest public school in the nation, UNC, but also the future of space explorers.
And now you told me a little bit about how you started a club at school, and I know you've mentioned your exciting nonprofit. Can you tell us about that? It's so special that you're giving back to inspiring this next generation, especially young girls.
Absolutely. So I founded and I currently serve as the president of the Carolina Astronomy Association, which I'm proud to say is the only astronomy club here at UNC. And so we're a purely interest-based club, so there's no required background knowledge of astronomy or physics needed. We try to make learning about space and astronomy very immersive and very fun because I've learned that if you do put a prerequisite of knowledge, people can be very reluctant to join and it can be very intimidating for them. So we do a lot of fun activities, and it's great to be able to share my experience and all of the members about what going to space was like, what the training was like. But I did also found an organization called Orbital. It aims to inspire and motivate young women to pursue opportunities in the space industry. And so we also provide resources for young women to find unique pathways into the industry. The core mission is to highlight all the unique, incredible ways that contribute to the field and to provide outreach to demystify the process of it.
Well, thank you again. Truly, the impact that you're having back on Earth after this monumental experience in your life, like, it's just so special. So thank you for everything you're doing. And you have one other very special little treat about this space flight. You and your dad, Jim, both flew on New Shepard. So what is it like, this father-daughter astronaut duo? Like, I imagine, like you said, you're probably the coolest family in the neighborhood. Tell me about that.
So it is a very special connection. You know, it's one thing to talk to an astronaut about their experience, but it's a completely another thing to talk to my father, someone who is so close in my life, and to be able to reflect back on our experiences together, because we do have this once in a lifetime bond, and it allows us to kind of walk through this new life together and to discuss how going to space changed each of us on such a personal and intimate level. And, you know, I was able to see my father, someone who is a role model in my life, go to space and see firsthand how that changed him. And now that I've gone to space, he's able to see how it's changed me, and he's seen me flourish as this new person. So it's kind of an ineffable connection, honestly. But I'm sure that Mark and Aaron also understand that connection. But needless to say, we're definitely going to have a very interesting Thanksgiving this year.
An interesting Thanksgiving indeed. Well, Carson, thank you so much. It was so great to talk to you. Thank you for sharing these unique experiences, and we're so proud of everything you're doing. So thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. I hope you too have a great day.
Thank you. So Alice, the stairs are out. Our crew will be stepping out here shortly. What are these final touches going on here?
Yeah, you'll notice that the astronauts are out of their seat. They're standing in the capsule, having their last final moments together before we crack that hatch open and let them reunite with all of their friends and family. What you're not seeing behind the camera are all of those friends and families lined up waiting to give hugs and kisses and maybe a few tears to their loved ones. Right there you'll see CM7, crew member 7, Sarah Knight, making sure the stairs don't wiggle too much. We wouldn't want that. That's a good test there, Sarah.
That was a great test. looks pretty stable.
You'll notice workings in the background. We work to safe our parachutes. Those parachutes are reused after each flight, and we make sure that those are all clear so there's no tripping. And it looks like we're about to open the hatch. Let's stay tuned.
Welcome back to Earth. All right, come on out.
Some thunderous applause is always a good sign. Welcome back to Austin. Welcome back again to Mark. Oh, that's a pretty unique flag. A second spaceflight flag is a small and elite group. Oh, and welcome back again to Sharon carrying a stuffed dog after her dog Saba. Welcome back to Hank. You're an astronaut, Hank. Congratulations. Welcome back to JD, astronaut JD Russell. And last but certainly not least, the space gal herself, Emily Calandrelli, finally an astronaut.
And there are those big hugs. Oh my gosh, what a special moment.
I told you I'd see you use them in the capsule. Twice. And no, that's right. Man, that was like so smooth. It was scary. Congratulations.
Okay, that was a good hit.
Twice.
I heard it.
Twice.
Don't worry, the spacecraft is okay.
You guys, congratulations.
Thank you.
What a moment for everyone there.
Way to go.
Celebrating. They just got back from space, and quite frankly, they probably don't have much to say. Those moments will make you speechless. It will take a while, I think, for those astronauts to soak in what just happened.
And I think one really special thing we heard about all these astronauts is that they are so philanthropic, they inspire the next generation, and I'm sure that this experience they're going to give back and share.
I was like counting down to Miko. I was like, let us get to Miko. Come on. And when we got to Miko, I was like, boom, I'm not scared anymore. That kick in your pants from separation is wild. It is wild. I had to tell my brain, like, this is normal, this is expected, it's supposed to be a kick in the pants. Oh my gosh. And we got to weightlessness. I immediately turned upside down and looked at the planet, and then there was so much blackness. There was so much space. I didn't expect to see so much space. And I kept saying, like, that's our planet. That's our planet. It was the same feeling I got when my kids were born. And I was like, that's my baby. That's my baby. And I, like, had that same feeling where I'm, like, seeing it for the first time. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It's incredible. Yeah. Oh my God. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. We did it. We did it. We did it. Oh, man. I'm the 100th woman in space. You're the 100th woman in space. Oh, what a ride. What a ride. Amazing. Whew. So when do you come down from this? Like months later, years later?
I don't know, you'll have to tell me.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That is crazy.
Thanks, Emily.
I love you.
For sharing it with us.
Thank you.
Wow.
Well, if that doesn't inspire you, I don't know what will. That raw, emotional, incredible, experience that Emily just shared.
So touching.
Beyond
Let's tune
anything
in.
I expected before. and it's perspective that adds to the mission that I'm on to combat hate and anti-Semitism, and seeing the world from up that high where you don't see the borders, you don't see the divisions, you don't see all of the lines that divide us, where we hate each other. We're all one people. We're on this very fragile, small planet. It's amazing. You can see the Pacific. You can see the Gulf of Mexico. It's like just incredible. I'm so grateful to you, Sarah, for all of the training that you provided, and it almost worked perfectly. I didn't quite get my crotch belt enough on the way down, but Phil, thank you.
Honored to have
I don't
you.
know. It'll take me a while to process this. I thought about my kids and my whole family. I was trying to deliver a message in the middle of space, and there's just so much going on in my head. But
We're so proud.
I can't wait to go again.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Follow the Hagels.
Yeah.
She's coming with me next time. We're gonna do the Hagel thing.
There we go. You got to think somebody's got to take it up with the Hagels.
You may want to go a third
Carry
time.
on the tradition.
Hank's words about, seeing that we're all in this together. It's one Earth, we're all on together. That view from space, that overview effect, hearing Hank's, again, these emotional, these raw reactions is so special.
Yeah, it's getting me emotional, quite frankly.
It was great. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't get sick, so I'm very thank you for all that training.
You're welcome. How was the view?
The view is amazing, and I can tell you, there's really nothing ever in the world like going into space. When you cross that Kármán line, as you come up to it, you really see nothing, and then you're into nothing, and the stars are going, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, thanks for coming and flying with us.
Thank you for all your work and the training. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
You did a great job on this.
It's been a pleasure.
The pleasure's all mine. Thank you.
Hi, friends. You want to tell us?
What an incredible day. What an incredible day for all of us, especially those 6 astronauts that we just heard from on board today's flight. It was an absolute honor to fly you to space. If you would like to follow in the pioneering footsteps of these astronauts and purchase a seat on a future ride to space, visit blueorigin.com and click on that big Fly to Space button. Your own journey to visit the Kármán line is closer than you think.
Yes, Alice, that fly to space button, it's very direct. Click here, fly to space. And if you'd like to purchase a mission patch or other swag to commemorate today's launch, head to the Blue Origin shop for patches, shirts. It's getting cold. You see a hat there. There's so much more. And in the center there's that patch for today's flight, which is what our astronauts wore on their flight suits, and it has a very special meaning behind it. The color pink and the girl in the signature pink overalls represents Emily Calandrelli. The center line in the 2 represents Sharon and Mark's second flight on New Shepard. You saw Mark come out of the capsule holding his 2 sign. The stars represent Austin Littoral's vision for people among the stars. The people at the bottom of the patch represent J.D. Russell's hope for generations of people expanding their understanding of the world. And the wolf in the crew capsule's window represents Hank Wolfond. Like you said, it's his spirit animal. And if you would like to join the Blue Origin team, help fly New Shepard, help build this road to space, we have hundreds of positions across all of our facilities nationwide, including manufacturing sites in Florida, Alabama, Washington, and Texas. Just visit our website for more details at blueorigin.com/careers. I'm Jackie for Alice and everyone here at Blue Origin across the country. Thank you so much for joining us. And until our next mission, Gradatum Ferociter.
Have you ever dreamed of going to space and gazing back on Earth through some of the largest windows that have ever flown in space? We certainly have.
T-minus 10, 9.
A once-in-a-lifetime journey is closer than you think. It's your time to join the new generation of astronauts. To book your flight, visit blueorigin.com and click Fly to Space. Tell us as much as you can about yourself. We welcome you to the final frontier.